Tecnomodel, are they better than GP Replicas? King of 90s Ferrari 118 diecast. This is the 41T2 1995 diecast review. Now, I have not been so excited unboxing a model since I was a child, I think. My first thoughts were, wow. So, welcome to a new video and a new release from Tecnomodel. Now, I know I get some negative feedback from a lot of people when I critique GP Replicas models. So I have to say right away that I'm not supported by any model shops. I'm not affiliated with anyone. I don't get sent models for free for them to then be reviewed and given a shout out and named. I'm not sponsored by anyone. Because I pay for my models with 100% of my hard-earned money, I have freedom to rightly give my honest opinion and standards for the high money brands charge for models. I have a huge 118 model collection and I want to have every car from the 90s. I have mostly Minichamps models made from that era with the old tooling, of course, and if any brand releases a new improved model, I will buy it to upgrade, obviously. So GP Replicas are trying to be that brand. They're releasing a lot of models from the 80s, 90s and 2000s, and they come with a lot of inaccurate proportions and big mistakes. Lipstick on a pig, so to speak, to mask over by adding intricate detail, okay? They are getting better with their releases from a few years ago in comparison. I've personally sold a lot of my GP Replicas models, the Ferraris. I've kept the McLarens from 1990, 1998. My purpose for this video is to see, are Tecnomodel better than GP Replicas with their 80s, 90s and 2000s F1 cars? If so, then I will sell my GP Replicas and replace them with Tecnomodels. At first, I was skeptical because of the helmet on the Tecnomodel here. In the photos from the angles, it could look a little goofy, but seeing it in person is actually fine. The tyre markings on the sidewalls, they look more accurate than the GP Replicas model. The overall model and proportions look closer to the real-life Ferrari, including the nose is wider. At the bottom, it gets wider as it goes up. It's small and gets wider. That looks far more correct on the Tecnomodel. The GP Replica model, the nose is far too thin. I'll show you in a comparison with a GP Replicas model in a moment. When I see this model, it looks like the Ferrari seen on track on YouTube. That's really cool. I don't often get that with GP Replicas models. When you see them, it doesn't remind me of the car. Also, I prefer the carbon fiber effect on the wings. It's a lot less coarse than the GP Replicas model. They build really large carbon fiber wheels. Also, the GPR version has less accurate Goodyear tyre markings. And the spacing is wrong as well between the letters. In my honest opinion, I think Tecnomodel are more accurate than GP Replicas, giving me confidence to buy their 92, 93 Ferraris that will be soon released in 118 scale from Tecnomodel. I also have a Minichamps model to compare with old tooling from 30 years ago, and the nose is more accurate on that than the GP Replicas model. Now I'm going to compare all three models. So this right here is the GP Replicas model. And you can see how on the Tecnomodel the wing is more black. Then GP Replicas, the weave, the carbon fiber weave is so big, the pattern. Here is the nose, and it's a lot thinner across the whole nose, where the Tecnomodel, it might be hard to pick out on the camera with my phone, but it does get wider as it goes up. And the nose is higher as well, which definitely reminds me of the car as I'm looking at it front on. You can see the tyre sidewall markings as well. So the space between the Goodyear is a lot smaller, whereas GP Replicas, the spacing between Goodyear is really stretched between the letters, and on the Eagle it doesn't look right. And they mount all their Goodyear at the top as well. Here is a Minichamps model from 30 years ago, and the nose is thicker and wider and correct shape. So this old tooling from 1996 is more accurate on the Minichamps than the GP Replicas, which is just crazy. Also, I prefer the black front nose like Tecnomodel did. It's more accurate than the grey and huge carbon fibre weave effect on the GP Replicas model. This carbon weave effect is really prominent on the rear cowling and the rear wing as well. It's probably less of a problem on a 1/12 scale model, but it's really strong now. There are people that like GP Replicas models and prefer them. So if you can look past these inaccuracies, then more power to you. It's obviously your opinion. Now, obviously, the GP Replicas model it's got nice detail, nice paint, intricate detail. The helmet, they've done a really good job. The photo etch parts on the seatbelt. We're not going to pretend GP Replicas haven't done a nice job with that. But if we're going to ask the question, which is the most accurate model, which model has the correct proportions, which model has the least amount of mistakes, it's going to be between the Minichamps and Tecnomodel. GP Replicas just has too many inaccuracies. Doesn't mean it's not a nice model, but it's just the least accurate. Fourth place is obviously the Onyx model, which I don't have. GP Replicas would be number 3. Minichamps would be number 2 with accuracies very closely behind Tecnomodel number 1. I give Tecnomodel number 1 because it's a brand new model. It's kind of it has kind of the detailing GP Replicas do, but with more accuracies, if that makes sense. So if you want to get an upgrade, then the Tecnomodel is a good model in that respect. I did want to highlight as well, I was really impressed with the packaging with the Tecnomodel. It came with all this film around the actual acrylic case. There was a lot of tape marked, attached around the wheels and tyres as well, keeping the model secure. And you had this nice foam around the rear wing. I've never had a model arrive damaged from Tecnomodel. I've had 6 arrive damaged from GP Replicas, so it's really, really nice just to see the care Tecnomodel take with shipping their models out and the protection. It was really, really nice to see. Then when you open up, you get this nice pamphlet signed by the makers of the model. And you have this really cool personal note to each person that buys a model, saying that it's been hand-built with the most care and precision as possible, assembled in Italy. And it's really nice to kind of see that really. And they give you some instructions on how to keep the model in the best care. Wear cotton gloves to avoid fingerprints. Don't store in sunlight in certain heat. It's just a really nice personal note I really liked to receive from that. So yeah, thank you Tecnomodel. It's really nice to have this care. So I just wanted to highlight how Tecnomodel have really got the front nose bang on. So you can see at the start of the nose it's quite small and then it gets wide as it goes up, and the nose is quite high compared to the side pods. It just really feels more accurate. When I look at this from this angle, I feel like I'm looking at the actual 41T2. It's amazing. So Tecnomodel have done a really good job here of the accuracy and the proportions. You can't see this in photos. There's no good angles. I was worried before I bought the model. but safe to say, they've done a really good job here. In comparison now, the GP Replicas model, you'll see the nose is a lot thinner through most of the nose section, and it really does highlight how grey and coarse the carbon fibre is by GP Replicas. Again, if you don't mind these kind of things, you can look past this and enjoy your collection. This is why I've sold a lot of my GP Replicas models now, because there's better models coming out, in my opinion, which are the Tecnomodel Ferraris. So that being said, I've decided to order the 92 and 93 Ferraris 118 scale by Tecnomodel when they come out. I hope they do the 94 Ferrari and also the 97. I will probably order their 96 Ferrari as well, because from the photos it looks like they've done a good job with that. The 91 Ferrari, sadly, they did the 642, not the 643 that came at the French GP. So that's a shame, because they didn't release the later Ferrari. But I hope this comparison video between Tecnomodel, GP Replicas and Minichamps from 30 years ago helps you kind of take in perspective. I felt it was very important to do this video because the 1995 V12 Ferrari Formula 1 car is my favourite Formula 1 car of all time. I want to have the best possible version of this car in my collection, and I'm confident that the Tecnomodel version is now #1. And also, if you haven't seen the 1995 Japanese Grand Prix, which this model's based on, it was one of the most exciting Formula 1 races from the V10 era. Lacey had an amazing race, jump start, had to do the penalty, came back out, still managed to get up to second behind Schumacher, did some amazing passes around Damon Hill on the outside into the chicane. Amazing racing from Lacey. He could have won, but overtaking a back marker around the final turn, he went wide on the gravel, damaged his drive shaft and retired in spectacular Lacey fashion. But it was amazing watching him wrestle the car around in the wet. I strongly recommend that you watch this race that this model is based on. So just to finish, I thought I'd do a close-up of the Tecnomodel, as that's what this video is really about. Now, there are some negatives about the Tecnomodel. It's possible, looking at a lot of photos, that these actual Goodyear tyre markings on the sidewalls are a little bit too large in size compared to photos. That is possible. So that's one negative. The second negative would be that there's actually no TV camera. For the Japanese Grand Prix, looking at the photos, Lacey did have an onboard camera here. Again, that's something I could easily install to the model. That's not the end of the world. The third thing would be is you can see this in my shorts video, that the actual Marlboro decal here, this actually was originally down here. So thankfully with a scalpel I managed to remove the old decals on both sides, because originally they wanted me to do it in line with the fuel filler cap on both sides. So it's far too low for the Japanese Grand Prix. So I removed this and I fitted my own from my own decal collection, and I put the Marlboro higher up on the engine cover as it was for the Japanese Grand Prix. So that's an inaccuracy from Tecnomodel. The model's not perfect either, not saying it is. It's cool that it's limited edition, they only make 30. GP Replicas make 500. This is a limited edition 8 of 30, so that is really cool. The paint is the paint of the model is amazing. I'm a little tired here. GP Replicas do a nice job with their paint. I think Tecnomodel do a nice job as well with their paint. As you can see, the nose is stunning. It's the right shape, the right height. It definitely feels like I'm looking at the Ferrari. GP Replicas probably do a better job with the helmets. LAC actually raced with a tinted visor. He didn't have a clear visor. So that's an inaccuracy, but you could easily put a tinted film over that if you wanted to. If you don't like the helmets, it's possible GP Replicas do a better job with helmets. You could order the version without the helmet. For example, the Canadian GP, Lacey didn't even finish the race. So it's not inaccurate to have the version without the driver for sure. I do want to collect the models with the driver figures. I wasn't a Lacey fan. I'm trying to collect all the Lacey models in 1/18 scale. I've nearly got all of them. So I look really forward to Tecnomodel releasing the 1992 and the 1993 Ferraris. That will be absolutely amazing. And I hope that they can do the 94 as well. So thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I just want to say one last thing. You can see the carbon fiber weave effect is a lot less coarse and over the top, and it's black. For me, that's more accurate, so I like that Tecnomodel have done this well. Just to finish the video, so I think Tecnomodel, they're doing a lot of things right. They're not perfect either, but they do have a premium feel. The model was packaged really well, exceptionally well. I'd be surprised if their models arrived broken. So I'm really happy that they take a lot of care. I like the personal pamphlet that they have with the model. That's really nice. And yeah, they're doing a good job, and their models have a really good premium feel. So I think that they are going to obviously do a good job with releasing retro 90s F1 cars, and they're going to give GP Replicas a good run for their money. It's good for model collectors, because if they make GP Replicas raise their game, everyone is a winner. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I look forward to showing you some new reviews in the future. Tecnomodels are doing a good job.